Hi, I'm Shaun Reynolds.
And I'm Rachel Reynolds.
And welcome to What Was I Made For?
The podcast about doing what you love and prioritising your happiness.
While we aim to inspire, motivate and entertain you, please note that we're not licensed therapists or certified experts.
So if you're considering major life decisions like starting a llama farm or quitting your job to become a professional skydiving instructor, maybe get a second opinion.
Enjoy the show.
See, I just do what I want, do what I love. I don't wanna stop, don't wanna grow up. Just me being me, don't follow the crowd. Don't be a sheep, look at me now. But now it's time to make more, create more. Looking at the points, cause it's time to take score. Feeling like I'm grown now that I can face more. Got one question, what was I made for?
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Just waiting for Rach to finish
Sorry, God.
texting.
Quick, sorry, multitasking. Oh, God. Can I just talk now about the state I am?
Rach, hardly anyone watches these, so you're good.
God, I wish I went there. What?
Wish I went there. Wish I went there.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay, so let's get stuck into that. You're busy, aren't you?
I have hit that, like, my palms are just constantly sweaty. Do you know what it...
Are your knees weak? Are your arms heavy?
I'm Slim Shady, a son of Slim Shady. Oh, you are Slim Shady, so just in my tennis. I want the real Slim Shady. Please stand up.
It's a different song.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right, no, let's just be real here, okay? Anyone who, I don't know if we have any listeners who aren't from the dance school. If we do, they're probably like, oh God, stop banging on about the show.
They won't be. If they're listening, they're interested.
Yeah. So the show is going to be amazing. Like, I've never been more sure of it as a thing, right? Like, all of the numbers look brilliant. I've never seen everyone work so hard. The teachers have like pulled out all the stops. The students are like professionals, right? So I'm not worried. It's just the sheer volume of behind the scenes stuff that is still to do that I'm just in a constant state of sweaty palms, racing heart. Like, sleep is really inconvenient. Even going for a wee is really inconvenient. It's crazy. But we're nearly there.
Nearly there. Anyway, what was your drink of choice today, Rachel?
I have got an iced coffee that Shaun lovingly made for me with oat milk.
With oat milk, but it's the new Nespresso pods we got. The coconut.
Yes.
No, is it coconut? I think it's coconut something.
Oh, is it? It does
ice.
taste a bit coconutty. It's lovely. And basically, I just need the caffeine.
Yeah.
Just put this in a drip, to be honest, at the moment.
And I've got coconut water.
It looks rank. It looks like dishwasher water.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't taste great.
Why do you drink that?
It's really good. It's full of electrolytes and it's really good hydration. In terms of drinking water, I mean, if this came out of the tap and you drank this all the time, it's probably quite high in sugar. But at the same time, it's really, really, really good for you, coconut water.
Is it the same as like drinking diarrhea?
No, Rachel. Diarrhea to help you after you've had the shits.
Yeah. Because you said about, isn't that the same? Electrolytes. Little tip,
No, I think
actually.
diarrhea contains loads of different salts and stuff like that because you lose it all.
Little tip that someone told me once, not that I'm promoting like drinking, and I've never actually tried this, but if you do know that you're going to be having a few drinks, apparently if you drink diarrhea first, or is it when you get home?
No, I think it's your uncle who drinks it on a hangover.
Oh, is that what it is? Just drinks on a hangover. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought someone told me once that if you drank
I tried it
before,
once and it's rank.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's blackcurrant flavour. I had that once after a tummy bug.
Nice, salty blackcurrant.
Yeah. Here's an interesting thing, though, in keeping with this podcast theme of what was I made for. Any other creatives out there who have this, and I know you have this because we've spoken about it before, why can we never, ever be like, I could never, ever have done better than that? Because, right, and I'm going to sound like I'm contradicting myself now because, yes, the show is great. Everyone's number is brilliant. Everyone's killing it. I already am like, is that the best I could have done, though?
Yeah, but that's good, though, Rach, because it means that next year's show there is still room to grow. Whereas, if you did have the show and you were like, I can't do better.
That's
than
my
that,
best.
Then that's it.
I don't. But
Shut down the school. Go
but
home.
Do you ever get to the stage
No.
where you go? No. Right. Okay. Because as I'm choreographing, I'm like, should I do that again? Like, could I do something better? What if? And you've done this. You've told me before that you have spent hours and hours and hours on a song, and you have deleted the entire project.
I probably do it with every song.
Yeah. And I could choreograph every single number, get to the end of, say, like an hour of choreography and go, okay, yeah, that's all right. I'm going to try again. But I don't think I'd ever go, I cannot do better than that.
Well, as an example, I saw an interview with, do you know, Diplo, the DJ.
Yeah.
DJ producer. He made that song called Lean On with his other acts. I think they're called Major Lazer.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
He reproduced that, I think, 15 times before he got that version that was released.
But then you've said before that sometimes you think the songs that are probably thrown together in a studio can sometimes be the biggest hit.
Another example, Charlie Puth, when he produced and co-wrote I do the same thing I told you that I never would. They apparently created that song in about an hour.
Right.
And the Kid Laroi had written his whole part of the song and they had it done in an hour. And I think the only bit that took longer is because they then sent it to Bieber and he then did his stuff separately or something like that.
And then it was huge.
But then it's a massive global
crazy,
number one smash. And you got to think like sometimes the creativity just happens and it all works and it all fits together perfectly. And that's happened with when we've had studio sessions as well. You'll just come up with a song and you're like, that just sounds great. We love it as it is, as it came out of our heads. Whereas there are other things that take a bit more work.
It's very hard though when you have a creative project that does take a bit more work, because I find it very difficult to then fall back in love with it. It's kind of like it's like a one mistake and you're out kind of thing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like if I attempt to choreograph something and I'm like, nothing is working, I don't even like the song anymore, nothing's flowing, this is so much hard work, blah, blah, blah. It takes a lot for me then to revisit it on another day and then suddenly love it. I feel like I'm out then.
I feel exactly the same way. When you get, and I've just been working on these Christmas songs, haven't I? For these Christmas songs for TV and film that are going to be pitched at Christmas. Actually, no, probably pitched now, but for Christmas. You hit a wall with it, and you're just like, I'm making Christmas songs in June. This is really hard to get stuck into, but you have to get it over the line because that's the project. And you sign up for a project, you have to just see it through. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's all gelling. But then the people you send it to, or the people that you show that project to, still think it's great. And you're just sat there thinking, yeah, but disheartened. Yeah. There's actually not many projects that I've put out, like you said, that I do feel 100% happy with.
I don't think I have anything that I'm 100% happy with.
But do you think
it's very negative, isn't it?
No, but it's not about that. This is why I'm saying that if you were 100% happy with it, there's nowhere to go from there. You have to always end a project. As long as you get the project out, finished and completed, I think it's good as a creative person to look at that project and see the things that you can improve on, because otherwise there's nowhere to go. No one is ever top of their game.
But then I say this a lot to you, and we've said this a lot before, when you create something, and I think this probably goes for anyone that makes anything, right? You can never ever see it with fresh eyes, ever, or hear it with fresh ears. So I can choreograph and teach a routine. I will never ever see it how an audience member watching it for the first time will see it. You could spend hours producing a song. You will never hear it the way that someone, when it's finished, hears it. And then that makes it impossible.
No, but that's the most interesting thing I found when I listened to the new Simon Cowell interview he did with Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah.
I found so fascinating in that Simon Cowell is one of the biggest like A&R guys in music history, right? He's had
A&R?
some of the... Yeah, so like he basically, from what he says on the podcast, he never gets involved in the music creation process. He's involved in the management and connecting artists with the right songs and the right producers and all of that. He's a people person. Whereas I thought he was actually more involved in the creation of the music. I thought he was around at all steps, but he actually said on that podcast, you know, whether you like Simon Cowell or not, I'm sort of indifferent. I just found it so interesting that he did not want to be part of the music creation process. He still to this day doesn't know how music is made because he needs to hear the music as a consumer to understand how he reacts to it. So he can then trust his instincts, knowing he's heard it for the first time finished.
Yeah.
His instincts are 100% his own rather than being influenced by the creation of it, you know?
I think if I had a superpower, that's what I'd choose, to be able to watch my work.
Forget the creation bit, yeah.
I would love to get to the show and be like, right, sit and watch this. And I've forgotten everything I did so I can see it how an audience member would see it.
I kind of have that for you. That's why you put me like, well, this year especially, I'm in like a really good seat. I'm going to have my notepad out or whatever, making notes on, especially on the Saturday, so that you can then see how it went. Because I see you choreographing bits and I see it as it's performed in the class. But I'm like the only person in the team that gets to see the whole show after it's been put together.
Yeah,
because
from an audience seat,
my work is kind of done by that point. So I'm really fortunate that I get to sit down with all the rest of the audience and actually watch it as a audience member, and then sort of feed back to you what worked and what didn't work.
Yeah. Right, what are we talking about today, Shaun?
Well, one thing I did want to mention is that we will be breaking the podcast after the show. And I know that might be shocking to some people that were hoping to listen to us all summer long, but me and Rach, we need a break. We're going to take the 6 weeks of the summer holidays off and just, well, that's not to say we're not going to be working on the podcast. We're going to hopefully be making it better for when we return.
Booking in more guests.
In the new term.
Yeah. And we're going to, well, if this is still in, it means that Shaun's like, yes, I am going to do that. We are going to share like some best bits, some clips. We're going to clip up maybe a little bit of extras. I don't know.
Well, there's one thing that I've really struggled with all the show stuff and managing my own career as well.
What? You have a career?
Apparently so. I sneak it in when I'm not being bossed around by you.
You're not my PA. What are you talking about?
Well, sometimes it feels that way. But so one thing we've definitely slacked on with the podcast stuff is socials and clipping up the episodes and putting out some more content. So yeah, my summer will probably be spent re-listening to the old episodes, clipping them up, getting some good content going online, and hoping that we get some new listeners ready for when we kick things off again in September, I'm guessing.
And what's hilarious is when we say this, you know that I'm like, oh my God, 6 weeks of summer. You know I'm going to get to day 2 and be like, I need to do something. Start a project.
Well, no, we don't need another project, Rachel.
No, that's true.
So we got an email.
Oh.
Another emailer. We don't get many, but when they come in, we
celebrate.
Oh, we're excited about it. Oh, no, there's 2.
What?
2, yeah. This is for you specifically.
Ooh.
From Louise Russell.
Oh.
So she said, hi, Rachel and Shaun. Another great pod with Ashley Gray. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was very, very good. I enjoyed that episode.
I did. I love that one.
I have a question for Rachel. What are your plans and dreams for the dance school? Where do you see the dance school in 2 years?
I feel like someone else asked this a few weeks ago.
Did they?
Yeah. So let's see if my answer is the same.
Well, no, let's change it then. Let's say, here's a dream.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a dream that one day we will be able to turn what I do and what Rach does into a sort of conglomerate.
I have never heard that word and it's disgusting. That sounds like what your drink looks like.
Nice glass of conglomerate here. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think that's like a merging of 2 businesses. I might be wrong. Me and Rach our dream is to eventually merge our businesses and create somewhere that all of the students that currently come to the dance school and, you know, future students who want to join up, somewhere that they can go and create whatever they want.
Yeah, I feel like our skill set goes beyond what we're currently doing. And I feel like we can create more opportunities. Like, yeah, if anyone's out there who knows of someone that maybe wants to invest in us, that's what we need.
For a creative space in like, I don't know, the East Surrey area.
Yeah.
That we can sort of, I don't even know what it looks like.
We
I
don't
just
know.
have a dream
It is,
that
yeah.
I think we can do more than we already are.
Yeah. So, you know, if anyone...
Who knows? There could even be a podcast studio there.
Yeah, oh, I'd love that. There's so
That'd be
many
cool.
kids who have seen like the creative behind the scenes stuff that goes like into the show or whatever, whether that's lighting, filming, photography, stage management, costume design, or like there has been the odd kid at the school who's gone, oh wait, what are you doing there? And I'm like, oh, imagine if we had somewhere that we could be like, let's launch a dance school podcast and the kids host it. Like,
Oh,
there's
that'd be
just
much
so
fun. Yeah, there is so much scope
Basically,
for
we
what
need
could
to win
do.
the lottery, or we need someone who's got like a massive building just hanging around that they're not doing anything with. So
Yeah.
that'd be fab. Moving on. So to answer your question,
Send
Louise,
this to all your millionaire friends.
the long and short of it is more of the same stuff, bigger, better, only ever growing.
Also learning.
Always learning. Always learning. Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom.
Rach is awful at ending things.
I can't. Teach me. Actually, okay. For the next guest we have in, my aim.
No, because you're just going to be rude now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I worry about.
There is a happy
Right,
medium.
I'm the guest. Let's role play this. You do So I'm a guest. You don't know me.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
I've just answered. What was I made for? Ready? What was I made for? I think, Shaun, I was made to drink this iced coffee and then be buzzing off the caffeine and get all of my work done.
Oh, Rachel, wow. So insightful, so inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in today. It's been great having you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been the best day of my life.
Great. Amazing. Well done. Anyway, moving on. Let's
That's rude. You can't do that.
No, I know. I was thrown by you saying you threw me off there because I think if a guest said that, I'd be like, wow, your life must have been rubbish. What a sad little life, Jane.
Okay, so you still didn't end it. Like, I need to learn. I genuinely need to learn. Okay, do it again. Ready? Go.
I think you just end it by saying thank you so much for coming in, and then we stop the recording.
So say that again. Thank you. Go on.
Oh, Rachel, thank you so much for coming in
thank you
today.
for having me.
End.
What, you just stare at them?
No, Rachel, but you've got to remember, I think about the edit in my head. I know I'm then just going to cut.
And I think about the awkward moment where I'm just sat staring
yeah, so you
at a
can
stranger.
just say anything you want. You can push the microphone away and you can say, right, that's us done then.
That's a good one. Right, that's us done then. I can do. Okay. All right, ready? Now I'm going to be.
Why are we doing this?
Because I need to learn. Ready? Right, you're the guest.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for coming in today, Shaun. I really appreciate it.
No, I'm really happy I got to come in and talk about my brand of coconut water.
Well, we've loved hearing
It's called
about
Conglomerate.
it. Oh, excellent. Well, thank you so much. Awkward.
If you keep saying awkward and just staring blankly at me, then yeah.
Okay, I'll work on it.
I
for the
just think
next guest.
you've got to think more of the edit. Think if it sounds like a nice ending and you just go, thank you so much, and they go, oh, thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, the edit's fine. It's in the moment. And I found that when it's been our friends, it's easy because I go, oh, thanks. I'm going to give you a hug. And then I get up and I hug them, but I can't hug strangers.
But then if we ever had a producer, they would literally be like, and cut. Well done, guys. That was brilliant.
Well, then maybe you should do that.
What? Say, oh, thank you so much for coming in, Ashley Gray. And then they go, oh, thank you for having me. And cut. That's weird. That's weird to do to someone's
But
face.
you just sit there in silence. I've noticed this. You're very
because
good at being
I'm
like,
waiting
thank
for
you.
that pause.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the pause to be long enough that I can then put the transition in.
I don't give the pause.
Yeah, and that's usually why you make it difficult for me in the edit because you're just going, oh, what a lovely day. Oh, what did you have to drink? Oh, we've been through that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll work on it. Right, question number 2. Come on, I've got work to do.
Question number 2. This is a good one, actually. This is from Sandra.
Lovely, Sandra.
Sanj. Sandra has said, hi, Shaun and Rachel. I would like to know. Oh, this is from Will.
Yay! Will, one of our
This is
students.
From Will through his mum to us.
Sandra.
I would like to know if you've ever gone blank on stage and what happened.
Do you want to go first?
I mean, do you want to go first? Because mine's...
I know your story.
Mine is so cringe.
Are you actually going to talk about it? It's going to make your skin crawl.
Yeah, I will talk about it because it's funny. Everyone needs to know that these things happen.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't remember ever going blank to a point where I haven't managed to blag it back. Like everyone goes blank in routines sometimes.
But none of your MT shows at uni, you didn't go blank at all in any of them? None of your shows growing up in college and in...
Not blank, but that is...
Well, aren't you great?
Thanks. I think that just lends itself to my... I hate saying the word perfectionist because it makes it sound like you think you're perfect. I definitely don't, but I have a real it really destroys me if I make a mistake, whether that's even like if I get beeped in the car, I will think about it all day, and everyone gets beeped, right? Everyone makes mistakes when they're driving. But I'll think about that all day, like, damn it, that was my fault. That's really annoying. So I think it probably lends itself to that I think I over prepare because I just couldn't bear it. Having said that, I have a recurring dream, and I think a few people have this. I need to Google what this means because it is something I've had my whole life.
Google it then.
Where I will. Where I go on stage and it's usually like a play, which is weird because I've never been in a play. And I'll go on stage and I don't know one word of the script. And I'm just stood on stage and I'm trying to blag it off the other actors. But I don't know the plot. I don't know where it's set. I don't know any of the lines. And I have that quite a lot. So I don't know what that means. Let me Google it. Ready? Let's find out. Whatever the personal circumstances in your waking life, this dream is all about your current stress levels being heightened by feelings of anxiety about others judging or noticing you. I do always worry about being judged. That's really interesting, isn't it? Next time I have that dream, I'm going to think, who was I worried about judging me?
Well, who was on stage with you? That would answer the question.
Yeah, that's true, actually, because it's always different people. Carl, let's hear your story, Shaun, because...
So, me and Rach, we were in Anaheim at VidCon, which is like a YouTube convention. There was a singer called Alex G, who's a very good friend of mine, who was lacking a guitarist for her performance that she was doing on stage. And if anyone knows me, you'll know that I can strum a bit on the guitar. I can work my way through a guitar pretty safely and get out unscathed the other side. But I would need practice and I would need to know what I'm doing. Alex comes up to me and goes, Shaun, I'm in desperate need of a guitarist. Do you want to do it? And I just went, no, I do not want to do that. I don't want to do it. I'm not a guitarist. I'm a music producer and I don't play live. It's just not my thing. She was like, you got to do it. I really need you to do it. Like, it'll be great. Come on. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then Rach started being like, oh, Shaun, come on. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. And then Prez started being like, come on, mate. You got to do it. You just got to get up on stage and just do it. It's a great opportunity. And I was just thinking, this is just not going to go well. I've got an hour before she goes on stage to learn whatever she's doing.
Wasn't it like a medley?
It's a medley of covers.
I think I added one in the mix.
Yeah, Rach, everyone was just sat there just throwing songs out there. And Alex was like, oh, that's a good one. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Add that in.
Mine was Beyonce, Single Ladies.
Yes, there was about 6 songs, I think, in this mashup that we'd learnt an hour before. And
I was having a great time having drinks with Prez while you were rehearsing.
Yeah, I know you were. I wish I could be having drinks with Prez.
We were so excited for your performance.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, it started off, got through like tracks 1, 2 and 3 of the mashup. And it got to track 4 and I just could not remember what song came next. My mind went so blank and I remember just looking at Alex. She's like performing to the crowd. She's like tried to go into the next song and then just turns and looks at me. And I'm just looking at her. And that stare, she's looking at me and I'm looking at her, felt like it went on for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was probably seconds.
And I was looking at her like,
help me.
I don't know what we're doing now. There's like hundreds of people out just watching this performance and I look at it like, I don't know what to do. And I think it was Single Ladies that came next.
Whoops.
Yeah. And it was Rachel's fault for suggesting it in the first place. And yeah, it probably was just seconds, but I went completely blank. I think Alex just started singing it. So then I was like,
and then you tried to catch up.
Good. So I caught up with her then. But my God, that was so embarrassing because one, I didn't want to do it in the first place. Two, we were so painfully unprepared. And three, it was as bad as I thought it was going to be.
How have you learnt from that experience? Like, just say...
I've learnt not to work with Alex G again. No, that's a lie. I love Alex. She's great.
I think sometimes, though, you have to push yourself out your comfort zone. And I think you can't be perfect. And, hey, it's made a great podcast story.
It's fun. Yeah. When I remember after that thinking that I was like, everyone was just going to remember the guy that forgot the bit of the song that they were playing. And I, like you, overthink it completely and think everyone's judging you for it. I think it's a very natural thing to go through when actually no one has ever brought that up to me. It's just funny that when we talk about it sometimes. But I know some of my most talented friends who are musicians and play live all the time, there's always blunders. Like when Jack was on the podcast and he was saying that he tripped over a light on Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. These things just happen.
But you know, I say this to my students all the time, actually. There has to be an element of blagging it in your face.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is, and my dance teacher told me this once, he said, I know when you've gone wrong, Rach, because it's written all over your face. Because you make a mistake and then you make that facial expression of like either rolling your eyes or
and
like...
I see that with so many of the kids at the school.
Oh my God. Whereas what you have to remember is an audience member... They only have one set of eyes, right? So they cannot watch two people at once, really, apart from out their peripherals. So you've got eyes on just you at some points. So if you make a mistake, the audience aren't going to know unless you make it obvious.
Exactly, yeah. And
I say this all the time. I'm like, if you can keep that face, like in whatever vibe that number is in, and you're just in your head like, oh my God, I'm messing up so much right now, but no one's ever going to know because I'm not going to show it on my face. You will get away with it. So yeah, thank you, Will. That's really sparked a couple of stories. So yeah, appreciate it.
Helped us fill this podcast, doesn't it?
It did. So yeah, that is it for this week.
Yeah, just a short one this week. I think we have 5, maybe 4 episodes left until we break.
Have we got any guests in that then?
No, we've got... So yeah, I should have mentioned that was Ashley Gray was the last guest of this season, mainly because we just haven't got any time to
We have got more booked
people.
in, but it's...
We've got more guests booked in over the summer, but you'll be hearing from them in season
September.
2 of What Was I Made For, which you can all...
Wow, conglomerate.
That was a conglomerate of words. Which you can all look forward to next season.
So we're back next week, right?
Back next week.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're going to keep this going throughout all of the show prep, the road to the show. So you'll be hearing all of the stresses, all of Rachel's woes as we get... You right there? Bits?
Ice cube.
Oh. As we get close to the show... as we get close to the show, Rachel will be hopefully filling you in on all of what's sort of coming together and not necessarily coming together.
It will all be coming together. Thank you very much. Whose turn is it to outro?
I don't know, because we did a bonus one.
Oh, let's hope it's me. Otherwise, we're here for days.
Right, go on. You can do it then. If Rach messes up, that she owes me 20 quid.
Okay. Ready? Thank you so much for listening, everyone, or watching if you are on YouTube. We will be back again next week. But until then, don't forget to like and follow all of our social media channels on...
At What Was I Made For Pod.
And if you want to join the 2 or 3 people who have sent us an email, please do at...
whatwasImadeforpod@gmail.com.
That is all for this week. Thank you so much. We will see you again next week when we try to answer the question... What was I made for? We're not answering it though, are we? We're just chatting.
No, but I would say, I mean, you did do that in one, but it wasn't perfect. We'll take it though. We'll let Rach have that this week. It wasn't perfect. 10 quid is fine.
Brilliant.
For a halfie.
Buy your pizza.
That's it. Do you want to end?
Bye. What Was I Made For is a Reynolds Studios production.